So this is the late lunch show. We just had a song from Eric Clapton to kick off the second hour of the show. And I'm delighted to welcome a couple of guests to today's show this Wednesday. So from Firewood Island, we have Stian and Abi to chat a little bit about a brand new sing. Hi guys, really great to have you with us.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing? How's things going for you two?
We're great. We're really good. Yeah. Nearly blown away in Bristol today, but surviving, hanging in there.
Yeah, fair enough. We did have a storm recently, and we had a tree that was not very far away from us fall right down and completely block the road. I guess it's not that intense. But
yeah, not quite. But we did have hail on Saturday, which was a bit wild.
Yeah,
wow.
And the funny thing is, like, the storm was called Dave, which is Abby's dad's name.
Yeah,
so
all the family jokes.
All of the wind jokes.
Yeah, fair enough. It's one of those storm names where I thought, do they have to call it Dave? I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Hey
there, Dave.
Awesome. Well, it's really great to have you on the show today. Obviously, you've recently released a brand new single called Sky We Know, and you've done that in collaboration with Our Atlantic Roots. So I'm really looking forward to chatting about that. But before we move on to that, should we just start with finding out, first of all, how did you guys get into music together?
Oh, by the way, that's a little...
My cat's just decided to try and climb up my bag.
Like a interview. We can ask some questions.
She's called Storm.
Moment. Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. How we started together. So I'm originally from Norway, and I was studying music engineering and did my third year in the UK. So I moved to Cardiff when I was in my early 20s and met Abby in student halls. And she was like really encouraging me to go out doing open mic nights and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I can't be bothered, and she was like, well, I'm going to go down to this open mic, and if you're not there, I'm going to ask someone else to walk me home. And and then I went down and played some songs, and I walked her home. And then it slowly asked if she wanted to sing on, because I heard her singing, and that's how I met her in student hall, sitting on the floor in common room, playing her guitar and humming some songs. And so I knew she could sing. So I asked her if she wanted to record on one of my songs, because it would be really nice to have some higher harmonies, on one of my tracks. And then kind of from that, she started joining the open mic night, and we got a band together, and
then we had this crazy moment where Stian's mum had been nagging him. So Stian's from Norway, and his mum had been nagging him for months, like, you need to sign up to this like thing in Norway, like online, just sign up to it. And Stian in the end just signed up to it just to shut her up, because she just wouldn't stop going on about it, and it was driving him wild. So he signed up for it, and then he totally forgot about it. And I think it was about 4 months later that he had like a message, an email saying, congratulations, you are a regional finalist, and you will be playing a show in Norway on this date. And he was like, oh, what have I signed up to?
I was like,
then he sent them a message saying, I think there's been a little bit of a misunderstanding. I didn't realize this was a live thing. And actually, I'm in the UK, and like the people that I play with are in the UK. And they were like, well, give us a week. And then they got back to us a few days later, basically saying, we've looked at the rules. We're happy to extend the costs to cover flights. So if you want to come over from the UK with your band, then bring them and you can play. So we went all the way to Norway to play one song. We ended up winning the regional final, which meant that we went on to the national final 3 months later. So we all knew we were going back, and we ended up and we got back to the UK, and we were like, okay, cool, we've just won a regional final. What does the winner actually get? Because we don't even know what we're playing for. And we came back to find out that the winner was going to have their song signed by Warner Music Norway. And so we were like, oh, this is a wild introduction to the music industry. So we went back 3 months later with like the band that we were playing with at the time, and played the national final and came runners up. But also as part of that weekend, they had loads of like sessions with music industry people in Norway, telling us how to put our music out there, how to get on things like this, like Spotify and things like that were really, really helpful, and was just a really great platform to sort of start from. So that was sort of the
We had an
beginning.
explosion start
Yeah,
as a
it was a
band.
wild beginning of our music journey, and kind of out the bat made us take it quite seriously, and we were like, well, why don't we go for this? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
So that's amazing. That is quite an explosive beginning, and I guess that was quite a catalyst for your music together, which is amazing. I am very curious, by the way, where did the name come from in all of that? I mean, what point did you sort of decide on a name, and what was the story behind that name, Firewood Island?
So Firewood Island is my last name translated from Norwegian to English. So Ved means firewood, and then Øy means island. And I had used that name long before the band for, just usernames on like, chess online or or like on SMS. No, was it MSN and like, chat places and stuff like that. It always just been my username. So when I moved to the UK and thought, I need a name that's easier than Stian Vedo, then yeah, because Vedo has like a slash through and it's just a bit difficult for people to pronounce.
Okay.
So Firewood Island was quite straightforward. And then I checked it out on social medias and stuff like that. It was not taken anywhere. So we could just be at Firewood Island everywhere, firewoodisland.com everywhere. It's like easy. The only thing we found that has the same name is one book series by an American lady that's not actually that big. It's called Home to Firewood Island. I actually got in touch with her and told her that we have a band name. She thought that was really cool.
That's nice.
But yeah.
That's really cool. Awesome. So it's actually coming from your name translated into English, which is really, really cool. And I love the fact that you use that as your chess username. Originally, it's just I love that you've gone from a username to a band name, but it works perfectly. I mean, we did exactly the same thing. Whenever if we start something, or for Pure 247 Radio and also Pure Media, the magazine, and the rest of it, we did check social media things, web URLs, because it's really important. You want it to be simple and consistent and easy for people to remember.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a practical aspect to that, I suppose, as well. But I love that name, Firewood Island. It just sounds exciting. It sounds kind of mystical. It sounds like perfect for the kind of music that you create. So that's brilliant.
Thanks.
I'm curious about this song. Is this your first time collaborating with Our Atlantic Roots?
Yes and no.
Okay.
We met in a festival, I think. We met through like similar friends. There's a lot of music duos within the indie folk scene who all have played Between the Trees Festival in Wales, and we kind of like got to know each other through those circles. And I think they got in touch with me because they wanted to produce some tracks that sounded like they could fit on Alex Rainbow music playlists. Okay. And then yeah, so we met up, and I've recorded quite a few of their tracks. I think, yeah, almost an album worth of tracks for them. And it's so nice having them over. They often come for a weekend, and then we record a song, and like it's quite intense over the weekend, just like eating together, basically living together and recording. And it's really fun. And then after doing that multiple times, we were like, maybe we should just try and write a song together. That'd be nice. So yeah, that happens over 3 weekends.
Yeah, this was the result of it, and it was really funny because we sat together on the first day, and we were like, we decided that we were going to do the whole thing on the weekend. We weren't going to come with like pre-sketches or anything. We were going to meet up, blank slate, see what happens. And the first day we all came up with ideas. We were like, nah, don't like that. Nah.
We were just staring at the paper, just like.
At the end of the first day, we were like, are we even going to have a song by the end of this?
Yeah.
And then we kind of made some rules for ourselves, didn't we? And went into the second day and just like pretty much bashed the song out in a day, like the whole thing. And just like we'd made some rules of like, okay, we think we'd like to write something a bit up tempo, like quite inspired by like Sigur Rós kind of sound, like really happy, upbeat, and yeah, like let's just make some rules and see what happens.
I remember having this idea. I think we were really looking forward to watching like the 25th anniversary version of Lord of the Rings coming in on the cinemas. So we were like, what if we're kind of a group of people, us four? Imagine us just sitting on a, on a hillside, looking over this beautiful valley with a, like a horizon in the background, sunset, and thinking, what if, what if we went past the sky that we knew, or like the lines that we're used to, like when Sam
stops and he's like,
this is the furthest I've ever been,
I've ever been from home. Yeah.
So it's that kind of feeling of like, oh, what if? But let's write a song where we never actually leave. We just dream about it. And it's all written from that perspective of sitting overlooking this hill with like some butter beers or like that's Harry Potter. But yeah, that vibe. We're just sitting there on the hill, chilling and just dreaming about like moving past our horizons and our comfort zones. And what would a song like that be? And what would we dream about? And what would we write about? So having those, okay, it needs to be an up-tempo song, happy, anthemic. It needs to have a lot of harmonies, a big bridge moment where we kind of stop everything. We all had these ideas beforehand, and this idea of like the lyrics being from that perspective then suddenly made it so much easier to write.
And also I think both of us as like music duos want our music to be very hopeful. We want people to listen to our music and feel hope. And so we really wanted to get that across in the song as well. We wanted people to like feel inspired and hopeful after listening to the song.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah. I love the inspiration, lots of different stories there. And obviously all four of you working together quite closely, obviously good. I'm guessing you're obviously good friends with our Atlantic Roots, Mac and Laura. And it's really nice actually that you've all kind of got this shared dream. But it's funny, isn't it? Sometimes when you're trying to create something, you don't necessarily start off super easy. Sometimes it is a labor of love. And
for sure.
It's like you came through with some great inspiration. I love that you've taken inspiration from the Lord of the Rings. That's just fantastic. And yeah, it does sort of capture something of that. Having listened to the song, it captures something of that kind of dreaming of what else is out there and what have I not seen, and yeah, that's really, really cool. Can I just ask about the instrument? So I know you talked about playing guitar and stuff like that. But what do each of you contribute to the song in terms of singing and instruments and all the rest of it?
On this song, Mac did all the guitars. So he, so both me and Mac play guitar, but I just think he's better than me. So
Mac's like third limb is basically a guitar.
Yeah,
like,
it just comes out from the
zone
side here.
control to him. Like
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so we just like I set up everything mics wise, and then he recorded the acoustic guitars and some electric guitars, and then I recorded bass, and then we were all just sat in this room together, basically just coming up with loads of random things. There's like this light over here that we found some screwdrivers, and we were like just hitting the lights, and we just wanted loads of random percussion.
really playful. Like...
Yeah, we had this massive bottle that's in my window, and Laura started like ooh on the bottle, and like we used that, and
quick record it.
And we have a whistle up here just on my shelf, and someone took that down and just played that, and then I chopped it up and made it into like some weird kind of electronic elements, but from organic. And then there's loads of like vocals as well. Like Laura and Abby just went like woo, woo, hey, woo, 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 and then I just cut it up and made it way more kind of electronic sounding.
We wanted to just be very free with the recording and not be afraid to try things and just be really and really playful with it. So we did that. But then both bands like vocal harmonies are a big feature for both our Atlantic Roots and Firewood Island. Like both of us being duos, like vocal harmonies are a big part of like our sound in general. So vocal harmonies were really important.
Yeah.
And then I play trumpet. So we were like, let's get some, like big soaring trumpet lines, just really, really always feels really hopeful. You'll feel like, yes, something's happening, So yeah, we put those in as well.
And then we were like, let's try to make this sound syncable in what do you call these?
In a like
quote marks.
Yeah.
In quote marks. We wanted it to sound syncable so that it could, we're working with a sync agent and have had our songs on TV before. And, it's hard in the music industry to earn money, but in sync, it can be very profitable and it's also really fun and helps your career if you've been on a really
it's also just really exciting to see how people take your music and use it in a moment in a film or a TV series and how it changes like that moment and like we absolutely love that. So
we thought like, okay, what can make it more syncable? So we added on a bit of strings, we added on some, and all of this is VST instruments. Unfortunately, we can't afford hiring in an orchestra
one day.
So we added on some strings, some like woodwinds, so you can hear like some piccolo flutes going woo, and just like some big drums and to make it sound a bit more orchestral and kind of cinematic, I guess. And we were like, okay, cool. I think this can work in like a Disney Pixar movie or something like that.
So if you hear that, Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So there's quite a lot going into that. I love that you've taken loads of random objects and created sounds from them. That is creativity at its most amazing, when people just think, well, this isn't supposed to be used this way, but why not use it that way? I mean, why not? You just throwing the rules out the window and going, all right, this sounds really cool. What can we create with this sound? What can we create with our voices, with these harmonies and all the rest of it? That's just brilliant. Amazing.
I do remember Mac going, he took his guitar and then, let's see if we can do this.
Just for, as we're on the radio, Stian's just picked up a guitar.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he took this.
Which is a screwdriver.
And then he hit at the very top of the guitar. You can do it.
Don't know if you can hear this, but.
Do it on this one. Yeah. So it was like kind of like that kind of thing on the guitar. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Interesting.
And that was kind of like a massive backbone of the song.
Really?
One of the percussion sounds. Yeah, one of the percussion sounds was just like, oh, that is really cool. It's just like using the guitar in a different way. And like, yeah, we just had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, so that was like the tiny little bit of the strings at the top of the guitar, like between the, what's the bit at the top called? The,
not the bridge, it's the nut.
Like between that and the pegs.
Tuning pegs, yeah.
Like just hitting them, like, and just, tapping them, having fun.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate aim, isn't it? When we're creating this stuff, we want to bring joy, we want to bring hope, we want to bring just want to help people to feel good. And I think this song really does that. I love how you've brought together all these really creative ways of using a guitar. I mean, a screwdriver and a guitar, who knew that could create such an interesting sound? But there you go. So that's really fascinating. Thanks so much for bringing some of the instrumentation behind this. I never expected you to mention using bottles or screwdrivers or anything like that, but I think that sounds fantastic. So before we play the song, should we just hear, what would you say is the message you hope to convey through this? You mentioned briefly how, it's about dreams, it's about going further than you've been before, but how would you sort of describe the main message you want to bring through this song?
I think that it is about breaking through fear that holds you back. So not being afraid to step out and being hopeful about what you're stepping into. I think that's what it's about. And, having your horizon stretched.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Totally.
Awesome. Well, I think that sort of that sums it up really, really nicely. And so we'll play it for you next. But first, actually, I've got to ask, what is sort of coming up next? Have you got any plans for the near future?
Yeah, we are currently finishing off our fourth album,
Cool.
which is crazy to say that we've released 3 albums. So the fourth one is coming now. Not coming now, but we have like 3 songs that we need Abby's vocals on, so that's going to be our next step. We've mastered half of the album, and then we just need to finish those last songs and send that off to mastering, and then
that will probably start releasing like later this year, probably late spring, late summer, early autumn. I imagine we'll start releasing new songs. And
brilliant.
our Atlantic Roots are coming to record a new song with Stian soon. So this is Stian as producer, not as Firewood Island, not as a joint thing, but like Stian produces their music with them. So
cool.
so that's what they're up to next.
No, that's fantastic. I look forward to that new music. Well, let's play the song now, shall we? Thank you, Stian and Abi, for joining us and chatting about all this music and all the story behind it, which has been far more fascinating than I could have imagined. Would you like to introduce the song for us now?
Yeah, thank you for having us.
this is Sky We Know on Pure 24/7 radio. Go for it.
The very first edition of our brand new monthly magazine, By Men for Men, hits the streets from the 1st of May. Pure Men's Mag is go. We've pulled together the very best writers we could find, scouring the earth, looking high and low, which means we've done the hard work for you. All you have to do is grab yourself a subscription. We've got digital subscriptions available everywhere via our website, or a 6-month subscription of these high quality, non-digital, tactile interfacing devices. They don't crash, they don't need updates, the battery is always at 100%, and even better, a brand new one appears every single month. Just head yourself over to www.puremensmag.com and grab yourself a copy. These are by men, for men, and always AI free. Pure Men's Mag is a go.